But, you know, this particular team, yes, we know a bunch of young Nigerian players from the length and breadth of the world, they're coming together. But what about that element of the fact that, look, being young has its plus and minus? I mean, they've not played together for that long. They're just trying to groom them. So the advantages, as Tony told us, they could play last 90 minutes and keep going. They could recover fast and track players very easily. They could organize themselves. But what about naivety, experience? Can we buy that?
Well, so when people say this Super Eagles team is young and inexperienced, I'm always taken aback. You cannot call Ndidi, who played 38 Premiership matches or 38 matches in the English football system, both FA Cup and the league this season. I'm not counting the one of last season, and I'm not counting his experience coming from Belgium. I'm even concentrating on the English league. You cannot call him inexperienced. But let us even look at the balance that Ganatura has been able to strike with this team. Ahmed Musa is no longer young. He's no longer inexperienced. Mikel is now a doyen. Onazi, even Joel Obi, first came into the national team almost 6-7 years ago.
But he's just coming back from injury. Is he?
But you can't call him inexperienced.
No, clearly he's not. But as a team,
you cannot call Leon Balogun inexperienced. He's going to be 30. He's been in the Bundesliga for donkey years. He's just been signed to Brighton. Or do you want to call it changing inexperienced? I feel what we have going, aside from the proper organization that we've put in place and the mental stability we have, is in the strength of stamina that we've seen the team exhibited week in, week out. Igalo is also not an inexperienced player. On his day, if he clicks, then the goals will come. If Moses, look, I thought Moses hid behind the facade for those friendlies because he didn't want to enjoy himself.
You don't think no something as burnout?
No, yeah,
because we saw that his game was below par compared to qualifications for the World Cup.
And we know he can play better than what I was at Wembley, and the Somalian guy that sat behind me was just cussing out Moses, and I thought, hey, this is the VVIP area. Where did this guy come from? I even joked with him. I said, look, Moses alone against the Somalian national team will be 6-0. And he got really angry, you know. But for me, I believe strongly that a lot of proverbs that we could have seen in the friendlies were not shown to us by these players. And the strength that we have going into this World Cup is the stamina of the young ones amongst them that would drive this team to be. Croatia is a team I respect a whole lot, with a lot of big names. I've been a fan of Croatia for over 20 years, from the days of Prosineski, Boban, Shuka. I mean, from even when they won the Under-20 World Cups as Yugoslavia in 1987. I've been a fan of Croatia breaking out and having those players. And I believe they still have that culture of producing strong teams at these tournaments. But I believe their biggest threat, and I thank God they have also said it, would be Nigeria in this group. Because if they get it wrong, tomorrow by God's grace they will get it wrong, and they are beaten by Nigeria. I don't see how they can stop Argentina.
You know, Chairman asked a question about the team.
Cohesion.
The cohesion. You've talked about the individuals, their experience as individuals, but that togetherness, the working, where you understand when you're making a move, this person understands where you're going to be, your positioning, and then that's where they're sending the ball to. Do you see that in our team?
Yes, I do. And don't also forget that the crop of these players qualified us for the World Cup, except for a few players that just came in: Simi, Nwankwo, Joel Obi, Uzor. The chunk of the team qualified us for this World Cup. And if you watch the way we play, everybody in the midfield tend to know the runs that Igalo will make. I feel is a weakness for us because, again, the opposition also.
You can trap Igalo.
Because England were able to undo that ball across that Igalo is known for. Easily.
Because he played in England, so they know him very well.
Right. So obviously, the technical team of other countries will be looking at that. But that does not take away the fact that Mikel knows the sort of passes that should go to Moses. Moses understands the kind of cutting he needs to bring in for Igalo. We have a team that I feel would excel in this World Cup. If Uzor can build up his confidence, I feel he's going to be one of the best goalkeepers in this World Cup.
That's a very key angle there, because when you talk about a keeper, they have to lead from there. We don't see him bellowing out those instructions, organizing the back line because he sees them better. So is it because he's just coming in?
That's his strength.
Feel his way?
I don't think you've watched Uzor well. Uzor's strength is shouting out instructions, and I was particularly very impressed with the Wembley match. Because he was screaming his head off. Maybe you guys didn't see it on TV. He was screaming his head off throughout that match.
Did it work?
In the second half, yes, it did. My take home with that match was that we have a good coach. The first half was abysmal. It was scary. It was nauseating.
What went wrong in that first half?
I have no idea. It was weird. I'd never seen Nigeria in any of the national teams play football that badly. But when they came back in the second half, and I feel strongly that the coach was able to look at the team, take out the players he needed to take out, and bring in the fresh blood he needed to bring in, and it worked. But critics have said, is he going to have the opportunity to change 4 players in a proper World Cup match? No. Friendly matches are meant to test those things. And they got it right in the second half. Even against
Czech Republic?
Czech Republic, I thought we played very well.
But the goal we conceded.
Bad weather, it was...
The goal we conceded, it could have been saved.
From our strongest department, the defense. It was a lousy defending. But as a critic or an analyst, you don't just look at the goal. You must look at the entire team. Did we play well? Were we able to plug up the holes that were leaking in previous matches? Yes, we did. And I have no doubt that this team will play well tomorrow.
Okay, again, you mentioned...
Again, I'm a pathological optimist when it comes to Nigeria.
No, that's good. That's good. It's
so are we. But again, you mentioned a couple of players. You talked about Igalo, you talked about Moses, you talked about Mika understanding the passes to give them. But you didn't. I thought you were going to mention an Iheanacho.
Personally, I've never rated Iheanacho. I thought he was rushed to Europe. I thought he was rushed to the national team. I still believe he has a lot to give at the age cadre, under 23, most likely. But hey, again, he plays in the best league in the world, and he's played there for 3 seasons, and he scored goals, and he would always be an asset to any team. I've never rated him. I don't think the coach also. I don't know what the plan of the coach has for tomorrow's match. But if I have to take a cue from the friendly matches, he's actually not playing Iheanacho. Is it because he believes Iheanacho is one of the players
to come from the bench
with a confirmed shirt, or one of the players that can come from the bench and be a potential danger to opponents? I don't know. But I like players who play for the team. Iheanacho doesn't play for the team.
He plays for himself?
He likes to get the free balls where he can call balls into the net, or where he can dribble his way and score goals. I believe football is a team sport, and I only have respect for team.
Do we have that team? I mean, I would think that a Wilfred Ndidi would I actually was looking forward to see an Nwakali as part of this team.
I would have loved to see Nwakali. I mean, again, from the under-17s, I've always loved Nwakali. And I believe, again, Nwakali is a young player that should have gone to the World Cup, possibly watching from the bench. Mikel is I won't be surprised if Mikel resigns from international football, or retires. Don't let me use resign. Retires from international football.
So you expect Nwakali to step into his shoes?
Of course. Nwakali is a natural playmaker that would plug in the Okocha hole, the Mikel hole, that is going to be created soon when Mikel leaves. Fantastic player. Sluggish in his own way, but brilliant. Plays football with his brain. complete team player, natural born leader. He was the captain of the under-17s, and he led well. I followed his career for many years, even from the academicals, from days of academicals. I thought he should have been.
Unfortunately,